Hello, welcome everybody on today's session. My name is Dariusz Morawski. I represent company Future Network Development, FND. FND is a project management consulting and BIM company. We are exclusive distribution partner for ISETIA, TILOS, ASTA Power Project and Cost OS. Now we are in more than 80 countries in the world. You can visit our website on fndsite.com. Today's session subject is the management of project team and investment process based on the construction market. Powered by ISETIA system. ISETIA system is our own developed system based on our current experience and many year experience in implementing project management software. We encountered that not all of the big topics, big issues are fully fulfilled by the current project management software. So we decided to take our share in the solution. So you can see today our approach for management of projects, portfolios and programs. Okay. Of course, our today's meeting will be based on the mostly by live presentation, but just on the beginning, I would like to point out the main functional scope of ISETIA, so you can see what you can expect from the system. First of all, the system can model the structure of your organization seen from the perspective of project management. So you can model your portfolios, programs and project structure. As concerns the project structure, we can provide you the functionality to model your project life cycle, thinking about management phases and execution construction phases as well. Then you can see that all project teams can be located in your project. We have project roles, some team members, and the strong system of privileges which are controlling the access for the data, information, functionality. Next thing is the project work structure, WBS, work breakdown structure. Then modeling tasks, work packages and workboards. This is on the red color because this is our solution and our approach how to mix and balance between micro level management and macro level management. You know that this is one of our subject for today, so I would like now to stress these work packages and workboards. And as the last, you can see that our ISETIA system can cover several project management knowledge domains like scope, time, quality, as well as resources, cost, documentation, risk, and communication. Also today I will point strongly this communication functionality too. So because our today example is based on the construction market, I would like briefly to show the big picture of the construction company and the main processes, management processes, which are taking part in such organization. You can see that all the regular processes of marketing, administration, finance, staff, risk, and some auxiliary processes, supply, technical control, these are the domain of the main ERP system that such company is equipped with, but all the rest, so I mean the main processes, can be modeled and located into the ISETIA. So you can model in ISETIA the investment preparation processes, design processes, construction processes, and if you are not the construction company, you can also use ISETIA as well, and your main business processes could be also modeled and managed by ISETIA system. Today, I would like to focus on the design and design processes, and I will show you how it works in the design stage in the construction. So, as I promised, now we are turning to ISETIA, and the rest of the presentation will be live presentation on the system. This is the logging part of our ISETIA. Now I would like to log in as a user who is both a portfolio manager and also the project manager. So he has very strong rights to access to data and to the functionality. Going from the top, now I entered the functionality of portfolio, program, and projects. Let's imagine that our company has 3 portfolios which deals with some separate business lines. So in our example, we are managing hotels projects, logistics centers, and shopping centers. So these are defined by us portfolios. When we go down, we can show that inside of the hotel portfolio we have now 2 projects, Ilbis Hotel and Campus Hotel. Inside of logistics centers we have these 2 logistic projects as well, and in shopping centers we have 1 project, this last park, and you can observe this blue color. It indicates program, because inside of shopping centers we located also new premises program, which we have another 2 projects. So this is the example of the structure of the portfolio projects and program you can use. So you can enter several portfolios, you can put inside some programs, and on the last level you can locate individual projects. So from this point you can have the full map of your projects, and you can see some initial data, initial and important information concerned with each of the portfolio and each of the project. For example, who is the project manager, who is the project sponsor, what is the initial budget, and what is important, what is the current status of the project. Hotel Ilbis reached the initiative status, and Campus Hotel reached design status, as you can see. The same stories with logistic projects and other projects. How we are entering this data, because this data, displaying of this data is controlled by our views. I named this initial view as a portfolio view, but we can establish as many views as the user wishes and it is necessary for him. But now I would like to point out 3 main perspectives which are taken into account when we are managing portfolios, program, and projects. The first one is estimations. So during the estimation phase, you can estimate in your project very important information, initial information for estimated budget, estimated revenues, estimated labor costs, estimated duration, and so on. So this is some rough estimation, general estimation. The second perspective you can use is the planning perspective. So as well, you can see the same value, not values, but the same columns, means revenues, expenses, labor costs, and labor hours, but these are planned. So this data comes from the level of the detailed planning, and of course they are presented also on the portfolio view, on portfolio level. And the third perspective, it's actuals. It means that during the execution of the project, your staff are entering actual data, documents, invoices are collected, and labor hours are counted, so on. So you have data for actual hours, actual costs. And of course, you can present all this perspective in once. You can prepare some layouts. This is very easy to achieve. On the left side, you have some data. On the right side, you have the chosen data. So on the portfolio level, program level, or project level, you can see all together. This perspective means estimation, planning, and actuals. What is also important now, that you can link your portfolio with some other information, very important information. I mean, documents, risks, issues, lessons learned. I will mention and show this functionality later on, but it is just to make your big picture that these objects, these project management domains, are also accessible from the portfolio and program. So this is very important, that you can have portfolio level risks, portfolio level issues, portfolio level documents, not only on the level project based on the project level. So let's go further. Then we can go to some particular project. This is our project of campus hotel construction. I will enter this project, and now we came down, as you notice, from the portfolio level to the project level, and now we are project manager. Let's assume now that we are the project manager of this project campus hotel, and I will show you how this project is organized, how this project is managed. Now, of course, I just want to stop on some macro level information, and when we can go down, I will show you the point when this micro level management is linked with our macro level outlook. So from going to some general information about projects, we have some project properties. We can establish several views, several formulas that many information from which can describe projects you can input on the project level. So the properties means some characteristics of the project, some attribute of the projects. Next important thing and area you can manage, these are project phases. We assume that this project phases division is on the point of view of management, so we can call this some management phases. So in the construction we have initiative, design, realization and operation. Now you can observe that we are under the design phase. Our initiative phase is finished, phase is completed. This is the date of the completion, the acceptance person who did it, and some approval conditions which should be met to finalize, to close some phase. So you can model, of course, your own phases. You can use some templates and manage this project management phases using this functionality. Next thing I would like to mention are project roles. As you know, there are many team members who are working under our project, but we can group them in some groups. We name this group as project roles. So we have designers, constructors, external contractors, project manager. So you can put any number of roles as it is desired for your project. These project roles are very important because of the imposing some privileges, access for data, operations. So this is also, this project roles can be used also for this access control function. Next, these are project teams. So these are persons who are playing some roles. For example, Mrs. Eva Smith is a constructor, Carl May is designer, and you can see that you can involve and invite to your project external constructors. So if you give access to the system for your external constructors, subcontractors, then they can also act and play as team members in your project. On the left side, this is the organization resources. These are your departments, technical, marketing, so you can choose any people to your project invite from using this organization resources, as well, of course, external contractors. I will not many touch some finance and expenses, costs, but when we are here, only just to show you that from this level also we can plan our expenses, and if expenses are also reach some actuals, we can also put some actual data based on invoices and other financial documents. Next thing is project notes. It is for some statusing, so you can put some data as a monthly report, weekly report, or daily report, and put some notes which you would like to put onto the system to notify that about very important events and decisions and something like that. All the information I mentioned before means project phases, properties, teams, notes can be located in some information dashboard, project dashboard. So you can see these phases, you can see some information about budget, priority, and so on. And what's more, and this is interesting, that now you can also see the project structure. I will go in a second to the project structure, but just to start this subject, you can see the parts of the project structure and the components of the project. So this is for information only how your project is organized. Okay, So these are the base information on the project level. Now we are turning down this project and opening it as a full structure which can be managed, presented, or changed using our this functionality. So on the top, we are on the construction campus hotel. Manager is John Kowalski. Planned start date, planned finish date, planned duration, planned labor hours, so on. And as you know, this is the functionality of WESs. So this is the same structure as, for example, in Primavera and Microsoft projects. So you can have several levels of WSs, and on the bottom there are some tasks. This is on the red color presenting on this screen. So these are the tasks that should be performed by particular resources and have important information. So up to that moment, I think nothing as much special which differentiate ISETIA from the other system is not visible at the moment. But now we are on this edge. So this information I can name as some general information, some structuring information, and of course they are very helpful to see what is happening on the project, how the project is located on the time and scope and costs. But as I said, these are some general information, macro information. But for the real life, for the real management, detail management, you can have some detailed information inside. And in the classical systems, you are achieving such detailing features by composing very detailed schedules. You are constructing many WSs, many activities, and real schedules has thousands or even more of activities linked with relations, and as you can remember that this is time consuming and it's not easy to manage, to update, to manage the logic of the project. And if you are not going as much detailed, you have of course less work, but also less possibility to control on the detail level. But going as much to the details on the other side gives you much trouble, because the manageability of this schedule is very difficult. So how to overcome this obstacle, how to solve such problem? And now I will show you how is what is our proposal and how we can manage with such situation. Of course, just to show you, we are not against the traditional approach. You can see our schedule on the Gantt chart, all activities, milestones, and so on. So this is the way how it is also presented and how it is managed in ISETIA. But now I would like to show you something more. Let's look on this point, design. This is design, and you can see it is WS for activity, but this is some work, very much complicated work, some design, and it is presented on the Gantt chart. As I said, in classical way, if you want to go inside of this design, you will enter hundreds or more activities with the complicated links, relation, and so on, so on. That's okay, but we can do this in a different way. You can see that this design on our structure is marked with different icon and different color. This is done intentionally because this part, it's in our structure, our ISETIA board function, ISETIA board object. So we can enter and open this ISETIA board, and I can show you what does it mean ISETIA board and how it works. To make it a little bit more visible, I can take some data okay. So what is ISETIA board? You can imagine that it's a matrix of what should be done, because on the left side we can model some points. Some in this case I name it as a branch, because as you remember we are on the phase of design, and we are designing our hotel. So these are the examples of the branches which should be involved and managed. It means technology, architecture, construction, installation, media, roads, and so on. And inside of each branches, you can put some elements. For example, in construction, we have slabs, stairs, base, walls, lifts, and so on. In installations, we have water, sewage, heating, electricity, gas. In media also some elements we have. So now we can put all the branches, all elements on the left side, so we can name the work packages. So we can call it as a work packages. And on the right side, we can establish some process, control process, which we will be using during performing a concrete works. So as an example, I used some phases of this process. It means requirements, initial design, customer approval phase, final design, final assessment, submission, and archiving. So this is the example of the process which will be controlling our work. And of course, just to let you know, you can establish your own process, own steps, own names. It's very easy to achieve, and you can use it in a different way, the way that suits mostly to you. Okay, so this is our base. So branches, elements, and process. And now, when I go to, for example, to construction, and I mark the construction, now I can see some more information, because each of the box represents a very detailed work to be done by concrete team member or resource. For example, when you can see this box, this is concrete stairs level 3, and this work is on the requirements stage. It is being performed now by contractor 1. Also, this contractor 1 has another tasks, concrete stairs level 2 or concrete stairs level 1. But at the same time, Mr. Carol May, who is our inside designer, works for this another works, slab XX, 3 level 2, 2 level 1, and so on. And also our contractor is involved in these stages, this wall works. When I want to see what is going on with installation, I can launch this installation. So I can see the water installation on level 1 is performed by Contractor 2. So this is now I enter all of our information. So this is the map. I think it is the metrics, the map, what tasks are being performed and what stages they reached. When I open one of such box, such task, I can see some attributes, some information which are inside. So the name, planned effort, you can put some planned effort, you can also have some reported effort, you have established some expected finish date for such task, you can mark who is responsible, and what is very important, you can see from this level documents which are assigned to this task, some comments if user and or team member put, and you can also observe when this task reach some stages, because it is very I think comfortable to notify the progress of the work and inform others and project manager how the work is being performed. For example, when the contractor 1 reach the requirements is finished, he can report moving this our cards from requirements to initial design. So this task now reach initial design, and you can see on the stage log that today, 13th of April, this stage reach this task reached the stage initial design from requirements, and me, Mark Glenn, updated this task. So to make you clear, this is the tool for managing all the tasks inside some part of the project. Now, as an example, as you see, we have this design, we have some branches, we have elements, and these are some detailed tasks which are being performed by our resources, by our team members. When I want to know what is the work performed, for example, by a specific person, I can show only these Carol May tasks. When I want a contractor, I can switch off and put contractors on the screen. So this is the comfortable way how to see and organize your work. So this is the point of view of project manager, but let's see what is achievable from the perspective of our resources, of our contractor. I can now log out from the system, and I will log in as a contractor. So, from the perspective of the contractor, now I can see what was assigned, what tasks are assigned to me as a contractor by project manager of this or design manager, so the person who managing, who gives the job. So these are in the information of the tasks I am involved in. This is the name of ISETIA board project. This is information about the planned hours, this information, how many hours I performed up to now, due date, start date reporting. But on the other hand, also I can see this information on my personal ISETIA board. So I can see only these tasks which are related to me, assigned to me as a contractor. And of course, from this side also I can see documents which are assigned to this to do. For example, this stairs. I can even open this document and I can see some solutions, some work product which are delivered within this these tasks. What next? I can see some comments which what is inserted by me or other users. Also, I can add new comments. So this is the way how I can communicate with others, because also these comments are visible to other members who will enter this task. What's more, I can, if I have some privileges, I also could have information about Gantt chart. I will show you later on other when I've been logging in as an other user. Then next thing, very important, issues. So I can see some issue which is submitted to me, and I need to deal with. So this is the information that somebody wants and achieves expects my reactions. What next? I can also make some revisions for documents. I can create some documents flow, and I can see what's going on this revision. So this documents now is being revised by Mark Glenn, and he started his revision. So to make it short, this part of the system is the functionality of communication. So dashboards are mainly used for the communication between team member and project manager, and of course between team member themselves. So the idea was to inform what should be done, what issues, what some events should be managed and involved by a particular user, some risk if it's necessary, and documents. When I launched the system as my internal resources, it's Mr. Carol May, the similar situation also happens. Also, Carol May will see his works that should be performed by him, but also he can see, because it is our internal employee, he can see also this part of the Gantt chart of the project which he is involved. And you can see that our design is visible on the Gantt chart, as well as our branches. So technology, architecture, construction. So these are the graphical interpretation of what is going on each of the branches. But as you remember, this design is fully controlled by ISETIA board. So The micro management is based on ISETIA board, but it is visible on the full structure of the projects and visible in Gantt chart, and all data inputted on the micro level is at once visible on the upper levels for project portfolio. And for example, when Carol May is reporting that he, for example, put it for 5 hours, spent 5 hours on this on this task and put save. So it is updated that my actuals came to 8, and these actuals will be visible for the whole structure of the project and portfolio as well. So all just to summarize, all information from the bottom level are aggregated on the top level. So I think we achieved to integrate these two approaches. So we have a general outlook on the portfolios. When I switch to my account, I will show you once again, because Mr. Karol May has no privileges to see portfolio, because of, as I said, we have very strong access control, and not all users can see some strategic information. So this portfolio level I will go in a second. But from his point of view, what is important, all of the important information he has on the hand. What to do, how to report, Gantt chart view, issues, documents flow. Okay, let's go back to my account and just to show you what this system also offers to me, because me as a project manager has also some stuff to do. These are tasks which should be performed by me. So the assessment on drawing, assessment design. So this task came from my board. I called it project management board, and also I can update my tasks. For example, if selection of general contractor is in progress, I put this information to the system. You can see also that the percentage of the completion of this task also is changed. This is the way of the configuration, but it is important that my task is now in progress. In ISETIA board, which is accessible to me, I can show you this one. This is the project management ISETIA board. As you remember, for design, my phases was based on branches, but now the process is different. The idea, of course, is the same. This is the ISETIA board, but it is specially configured for the management. I had some works for initiative phase, design work, design phase, or realization phase. These are some work types I also point out. So this is my obligation to coordination, planning, reporting, bidding, and so on. So thanks to this ISETIA board, I can manage my own task, not some project generally speaking, project management tasks. So they are separated from some construction design tasks. On the end of this ISETIA board presentation, I prepared one more example and show how this process could be also performed by ISETIA. I prepared some work stages ISETIA board. Now I can show you a little bit more. And in these work stages, I pointed out as a responsible person for each of the stage, for Mark Glen's initiation, contractor execution, Carol May change, and so on. So we can use ISETIA board also to control the flow of the work between our team members, contractors. And you can see that I have only one task. I name it, make it ready. When I go to the initiation, this is task for me. So this task, Mark Glenn, make is ready, is achievable and is visible in the initiation stage. I will see, oh, here, make it ready. But when I move, let's go quickly back. When I move to execution, you remember that I pointed out another guy, this means contractor one, who is responsible for this task. So when I log as a contractor one, quickly, I will change. You can see this make it ready now belongs to the contractor. So he can work with this, put some actuals, put some documents, notes, and so on. And when he accomplished, he are moving to the next stage, change, and this task disappears from him because now it is related to other participants. So let's go back and see it from the management point of view. This work stages. Oh, sorry, I need to log out and log in as me because it is not accessible for him no longer this task. But I would like to show you how it is presented in a general ISETIA board view. So this make it ready goes to Carol May. In materials selections goes to the other one. So just to, it is still for me, Mike Glenn. So ISETIA board, just to summarize, it's the way how to manage in detail your work and how to establish the process which is on the bottom of some work packages and work to be done, and you can use ISETIA boards instead of many activities, relations, and so on. So I think it gives you a tool for detailed monitoring the process, the way for monitoring the way, and also observing the progress of the work, not losing any information on the top level. I mean this strategic level, because as I said, now I go to this portfolio and actuals. I can see on the fly all information which was entered on the bottom level from our resources. So actual labors, actual costs, actual revenues, and so on are directly achievable from the portfolio perspective. On the end of our presentation, I promise you to show some other functionalities. So, as I said, we can manage documentation in our projects. So we can. I will go to our project campus. We can make some structures for documents, make some folders. So we can have technical documentation, architecture, construction. So this is the way how you can organize folders. Going inside of the documents, we can point out some related documents. You can link some documents to documents. So if documents have the same topics, you can reach them at once. You can have some history of changes. System is also managing versioning of documents. You can make some subscriptions, so you can point out that all changes which are done in this documents by others can be sent, and I've been informed that something changed in these documents. I can have some flows. This is the flow, so I see that the document is under revision now. I can put some notes for documents, so you can see that this functionality related with document is quite big. And as you observed, this document could be linked with the real tasks which is being performed by the user. So I think it is comfortable to use, and all documentations are manageable and on the hand of the user or project manager. So it is information about document management. Next thing, we can have functionality of managing of the issues. So issue is some event, important event, some problem you can you want to point out and inform some other team member or your boss or another project manager. So all of the users could achieve this issue management system, and personally all of them can put and add some issues and to inform other people what is important in the project. Another thing, it's the risks. We can have risk in our system. We can have risk register. You can point out who is responsible for risk, what is the start date impact, finish date impact, the probability. So general information of the risk and some ways how to react when the risk occurs. Expenses, I showed you from in the past from the project perspective, but now just to memorize that we can put plans for the expenses. We can have some categories of expenses. We can point out responsible person for the expenses and collect actuals against planned expenses. And on the end, not small thing, but I think also important. It's the lessons learned. So all of the projects should collect important and valuable information which came to the mind of the project manager or project staff, and put it and memorize, because next projects can learn from these issues, can use them, and could be protected against some obstacles and bad influences which occurred during the past projects. So the collection of lessons learned, I think, is the very important point in the project management culture of for each of the company. And ISETIA also has a solution for this lessons learned management. Okay, I think it is for now. I realized my scope. I would like to thank you for your attention, but of course, if you have now some questions, I would like, I can answer with pleasure. So now I want to hear from you if something is important and you want to learn more from me and about the ISETIA system.
Thank you, Darek, for your presentation. We are very welcome of getting all your feedback and questions through the system. So if you have any because there is a lot of attendees, and therefore microphones are muted. So if somebody would like to speak or ask questions, you can write it, type it in the chat, or raise a hand, and we will unlock your microphone. But for the summary of the presentation, we will be contacting all of you attendees separately, asking your opinion and feedback. And so far, I think, Darek, that would be all for today.
Okay, thank you very much. Just to mention on the end that we are giving all of you 20% discount for ISETIA kickoff implementation for all attendees who purchase ISETIA. It is valid to the end of the May 2017. Once again, I would like to thank you for your time, for your attention. I hope that I managed to show you the idea of the linkage, the links between micro and macro management. These two perspectives could work together. This is not an obstacle to have many details on the one hand, on the one side, and may have general aggregated information on the top management level. So this is our response for I think the demand how to mix these two words together. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Yes, thank you, Darek. We are encouraging all our attendees for feedback, for asking interest in other systems, and we are very happy to provide more presentations and more webinars on other systems which we are having. So we will be contacting all attendees asking questions, and we will provide answers. And thank you very much for your attendance.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. To złożone pytanie, trzeba się napisać do tego człowieka.